For mainframe migration projects, testing for functional equivalence can consume 50% of the total effort. Often this is done using manual verification, supplemented by tools that are not suitably aligned with requirements. In this short video, we're going to demonstrate how Heirloom's unique H-test solution dramatically accelerates delivery by eliminating risk during project implementation. H-test utilizes a powerfully simple approach. Record a transaction on the mainframe, create an automatic test from that recording, and playback of the automatic test with instant verification of the results. The mainframe transaction can be an online screen, which is what we will demo today, a batch process, or even a comparison between database tables. In fact, with over 20 different types of adapters, H-test can be used for a wide variety of testing automation needs. So let's take a look at H-test in action. This is a 3270 terminal connected to our mainframe, which is running the AWS card demo. We'll use the 3270 terminal to record a test using the built-in macro feature. With the macro recording now active, we're going to execute a couple of transactions to capture the workflow and collect all the information from the screens. We'll then directly import that information into H-test, where it will automatically be converted into a UML sequence diagram that the testing client will use to orchestrate the execution of each of the steps in the workflow. First against the mainframe application, and then against the migrated application that is running in the cloud. Each adapter has a defined connection endpoint. The 3270 endpoint is the mainframe we used earlier to capture the transactions, and the HTML endpoint is the migrated application running on AWS with the vSAN data migrated to a Postgres database instance. The last adapter is one for Excel, which the test will use to generate a report of the results. We're now ready to execute the test. This is done via a testing client where we select our test and start the process. As per the UML sequence, the first step is executed against the mainframe, followed by the same step executed against the cloud application. This alternating sequence is repeated for the remaining steps until the test is finished. The final step in the sequence is to collate the results from running the transactions on both platforms. In this test, we've chosen to generate a simple Excel sheet, so let's examine what happened. We've chosen to examine 5 data items from the transactions, and we can immediately see that one of the tests has failed because of a different value. For account number 50, we can see that the credit limit value in the cloud database is different from the value in the mainframe vSAN dataset. Ordinarily, we would investigate the cause of the discrepancy and resolve it accordingly, but for this demo, we're simply going to use the cloud version of the application to correct the mismatch. With the correction made, we will now rerun the test. This demo is focused on a single test for simplicity, but in a large migration project, it's just as straightforward to run thousands of tests at scale, fully integrated into a CI/CD pipeline. Once the test is finished, we can once again take a look at the report generated and interrogate the results to ensure that the correction has worked as expected. As we can see, this time the discrepancy in the credit limit value has now been resolved, and the results are an exact match, so consequently we now have a passing test. Heirloom's H-test has already been successfully utilized in many of our mainframe migration projects, where it has eliminated substantial risk and accelerated project delivery. Post-migration, a simple change to the endpoint location means all of the tests created during the migration project can also be used to test the migrated application against subsequent versions, or even test the same version of the application running on a different cloud platform. That could be for functional equivalence or even performance comparisons. If you'd like to learn more about how Heirloom puts you in complete control of your mainframe modernization journey, please contact us at heirloomcomputing.com.